everyone. Happy Eating Disorders Awareness Week. Happy Day of Conversation. It's starting. For anyone who doesn't know, we have 12 hours of conversation queued up for today. But to kick us off, we wanted to say hi. We are the ANAD staff and we do a lot of cool stuff together. So we wanted to say hello to everyone and let you know what's going on. So I'm Kristen Portland. I'm ANAD's executive director, which means I get to support all of these incredible people here while we get people connected to support and services. So, yeah. Jen, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are?
Hi, everyone. I'm Jen. I'm ANAD's programs director. So I work closely with our program coordinators in the support groups, helpline and referrals, and mentorship program. And the team will also introduce themselves now. Someone jump in.
Lerone, who are you?
Lena, why don't you?
Okay, I'll go first.
As we all start talking.
I'm Liron. I am a senior program coordinator with ANAD. I run the mentorship program. I also develop trainings for all programs, and I'm just a huge ANAD fan. So I'm here, and I'm very happy to be here and very grateful for what I get to do every day.
I can go now. Hi, everyone. I'm Athena. I'm ANAD's peer support group coordinator. I'm just really excited to be here. I love all things peer support groups, and I'm really passionate about kind of expanding them and bringing them to the people. So, yeah.
Okay, I can go. Hi, everyone. My name is Leela, also one of ANAD's senior program coordinators, and I help run our helpline and referrals program. Also really excited to be here and also really happy to be running both of those programs.
And we've got Jason here, who's actually trying to fix something, but he's our director of community engagement. He's really cool.
Hey everyone. Yeah, I'm fixing a technical difficulty right now, but that's what happens when you do community engagement, and you'll hear plenty from me today. So, but I look forward to an awesome day of conversation. We've got some really cool conversations lined up, and I'm excited for you to meet all the cool people we're going to talk to today too. We've got some awesome organizations that are going to be joining us, and yeah, it's going to be an awesome day once I figure out the technology part.
And for anyone who doesn't know, this is actually our entire staff. We have some incredible interns who work with us as well. And some of them you'll see later today too. But as far as staff members, this is us. The reason that ANAD is able to do what we do is because of volunteers, really. We recruit, train, and support our volunteers. And that is really the heart of who we are as an organization. And Lerone and Athena, you were volunteers before you were staff, right?
Athena, were you a volunteer? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was very new. I was like training to be a volunteer, about to be added to the cohort, and then this job opportunity popped up. So yeah.
Yeah, I was a volunteer. I was a mentor, and then I also became a team lead. I also had a chance to talk a little bit about ANAD on the international level. So that's also been amazing to really take a deep dive into the making of ANAD, the making of peer support, and all the background of that. So yeah, I think I've been with ANAD since as a volunteer since the pandemic. So
yeah. And it's cool because we've changed a lot since then too. So you've gotten to see a lot of changes go into in place, like see things evolve. And now you're part of training all of our volunteers too.
Yeah, which is one of my greatest joys, because I think that it's really rare for somebody to get to spend their days talking to some of the wisest, most insightful people who have been through so much in their lives and know how to put those experiences into words and help others using that experience. So it's such a privilege, really, to get to hang out with people. And I know that I'm training them, but also I'm learning so much from them in the process.
I feel totally the same. Jen, I see you smiling back there. What's your take on our volunteer trainings?
Well, one, Lerone has done such an amazing job at responding to the volunteers and bulking up the trainings where it's needed. And I mean, all of our program coordinators do the same, but Something I love about working here is that because we're a small staff, we can really take any feedback or questions into account and just continue to evolve our trainings. And I was smiling because that's my favorite thing about Eating Disorder Awareness Week too, is as someone in recovery, getting to the privilege of talking to people who are working towards recovery. Um, and I know, Liron, that's a big part of why you love doing the trainings, because you get to sit with people who are offering that peer support and just see how inspiring and valuable it is to our beneficiaries.
And it's also so amazing to see how interested they are in learning and growing as humans and taking this opportunity to really learn more about themselves and about how they can be more supportive of others. It's really a unique community of some of the most compassionate and kind people I've ever met.
I completely agree. We're a lovely, lovely space filled with really incredible people. And even in the groups I lead, sometimes with Athena, we get to see people who are there looking for support for themselves, turning around and just being so kind and empathetic and wise and thoughtful and helping each other. And I say it to my group a lot, but I always just feel a lot better after being in there with them and getting to see that. Lila, what about you? You get to work with the helpline and referrals volunteers specifically. I don't know, what are some of your favorite moments that you've run into with those programs?
Definitely just seeing how, especially helpline volunteers, they're always really nervous to take their first call. So seeing how they grow over time, especially with folks that stay with us for a really long time. We have volunteers that have been here for years. So definitely seeing like how they progress over time in terms of like taking calls or becoming team leaders even, and like helping newer volunteers. For referrals, also the same thing. Referrals is very like a difficult volunteer position to get started in. There's a lot of training on the front end. And those volunteers are also really nervous about doing their first official referral, having it sent out through email. So just seeing how they also develop over time in terms of like skills, putting together like treatment options, and discovering the complexities of insurance on their end. So yeah, just seeing how everybody develops over time in terms of like the different skills for helpline and referrals has been the best part for me.
Yeah. I was also terrified the first time I ever picked up the helpline, which is a while ago now, but yeah, it takes time. Like we're doing important things and we're teaching volunteers to do important things. So yeah. Jason, you look a little more calm now. Are things sorted?
I'm good now. Yeah, everybody should be receiving an updated link. So yeah, so we're good now. But yeah, it's been awesome to listen into everyone. When you were talking about like the nerves before starting the helpline, I was thinking of the nerves I experienced before starting a support group. Like I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to lead a support group, but it was through the training and through everything else that now I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So definitely, if you're out there listening right now and you're thinking about volunteering and getting involved, I highly recommend it because it's an awesome experience.
Completely agree. And we're not biased at all. It's just very objectively wonderful in all ways. One of the things that I've really been impressed with, I think this year and a little bit last year specifically, is how often we're able to say yes and incorporate volunteers' ideas. And Athena, you see a lot of that with the pop-up series.
Yeah, I often have volunteers come to me, and I can never promise that I can make every idea happen, but I'm always willing to hear it out, and I will try my best to incorporate those ideas. And I'm really excited about the upcoming spring cohort because I'm able to kind of incorporate some of the pop-up groups that volunteers have had ideas about and that volunteers have been begging to make like regularly occurring groups. So we're going to be adding some new support groups, everyone. So stay tuned. I'm super excited about it. And that's kind of one of my goals as I continue to be the peer support group coordinator, is to continue to add those groups. Of course, we need more volunteers to do that because we need to keep our other groups still running as normal and everything. But as we expand, it's really exciting to see the program grow and to see our offerings grow as well, because that just means we get to reach more people and help more people each and every day.
Are you ready to tell people what the groups are, or do they have to stay tuned?
I can tell them because honestly, I already worked out the schedule. They're already happening.
Oh, yay!
Okay, so we are adding an every other week RFID support group. It is going to be a part of our regular rotation. So that's really exciting. And a pop-up group that we have been testing and that is now going to be incorporated into our schedule is the athlete support group. So I'm really excited. Those are going to be amazing. The RFID group will be taking place on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And the athlete group will be taking place on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're interested in either attending or volunteering to help lead any of our groups, including those two, please feel free to check out our website, take a look at everything. They're not up there yet, but they will be up there soon.
That is amazing. Those are groups we've been getting asks for so long. Thanks for getting those together. I know you specifically pushed for those a lot and did a lot of work to make them happen. So,
yeah. And speaking of interns, we do have our wonderful intern, Daniel. I don't know if he's listening in, but the RFID group would not be able to be happening right now if it weren't for his help with everything. So if you're listening, Daniel, even if you're not, thank you so much. I'm very thankful for you.
Daniel's amazing. But okay, Athena, while you were talking, you talked about cohorts and pop-up groups versus regular. So Jen, do you want to explain that flow for people? Like what's a cohort system? What's the difference between a pop-up and a regular? What's going on here?
Of course. So our cohorts, we have 2 a year, our spring cohort and our fall cohort. And this is when we onboard and train volunteers to lead our services. So roughly our spring cohort always starts in March. So we're wrapping up our fall cohort that started September of last year. And we'll do a little changeover. And then our spring cohort will kick off in March and run through the fall. And then our fall cohort will start in September and run through the following spring. So of course, we onboard new volunteers at that time. We train them, we make sure they're ready to go. And we also continue some of our continuing volunteers into the next cohort. And this ends up being, our cohort, our group of volunteers who we work with for that 6-month period. When people come on board, we do ask for a 6-month commitment to them from them. But there's always the option to extend. And we have volunteers who have been with us for years at this point and have become team leads, as some of you mentioned before. So we have a really big and incredible group of volunteers who work with us.
Mm-hmm. And why don't we just recruit and train volunteers all the time?
I mean, it sounds lovely, but a lot of work goes into recruiting and training our volunteers. And we want to make sure that when it's time to do that, when recruitment season rolls around, that we could devote a lot of our time to making sure that everyone has what they need, that they're, trained, they know our systems, they're logged in, they get their questions answered, like all of the things. We have an application process. So for our applications for the fall cohort, those will open up late summer or midsummer of 2026. And there's an interview process that happens where we get to meet with you, we get to talk to you, get to know you a little bit, you get to know us. We ask that people who are onboarding select one program, so you get to figure out all of the details of the program that you want to join. And then from there is a multi-stepped training process. So we have our online training that we log our volunteers into, which is self-paced. Folks get to learn about eating disorders, learn about ANAD, and again, the program that they want to join. And then we also devote time to live trainings where we get onboarding volunteers together. We do some training in person, so you get to meet other people who are going to be in your cohort and start to build that community. It's more of a chance to get to know ANAD staff as well. As Kristen said, we are a small staff. You're looking at it, so you do get to interact with us at all levels and meet us along the way. And then we build out the schedule for the cohort that you're joining for the different programs and make sure that everybody feels comfortable and ready to go. And then we kick things off for that cohort. So we would love to recruit people all the time, but it works better to make sure that we have the volunteers we need to run our services seamlessly if we do it just a couple times a year.
Yeah, it is a pretty intense recruitment and training process. So I don't think any of us would be quite so relaxed if it was open all the time.
Yeah.
But okay, we've been talking a lot about kind of the three OG services here: helpline, mentorship, support groups. And for those, all of our volunteers have to be 18 plus. But Jason had the incredible brainchild that let us say yes to some younger volunteers as well, which has been really phenomenal. So, Jason, want to tell everybody about ASAP?
Yeah, our student ambassador program has really taken off. We launched it back in the fall of 2024, and we are already over 100 schools now across the country, more than 30 states. And what is really cool to me is that it's a youth-led initiative. So kind of similar to how we provide peer support, I was thinking about it, it's sort of like peer awareness, where it's the students who are there at their high schools or their colleges, and they're sharing their stories. They're talking about eating disorders. They're talking about the dangers of diet culture and wellness culture, and just really promoting mental health and a holistic approach to health. And it's been awesome to see them come in with all of their ideas. We, of course, have some ideas in mind of events that they could do or activities that they could do, but I really welcome all of our student ambassadors to bring their own ideas to the table so that they're talking about the topics they want to talk about. They're doing the activities they want to do. And then we're kind of here to support them along the way. The student ambassadors meet every month. We do different workshops with them, different trainings with them so that they can develop their awareness and advocacy skills, but also develop leadership skills, team building skills, communication skills. And yeah, it's been really inspiring to watch the work that they're doing. I know a lot of them are going to be watching today. They're hosting watch parties across the country, and they're doing some really fun activities throughout the week too. So make sure to tune in on our social media channels, because we'll be sharing pictures out all week of what the student ambassadors are up to.
That's amazing. I was so excited about that because personally as an organization, I want to be able to say yes to as many people as possible. And one of the things I'm really proud about from us, like these 6 people in this room specifically, is that we find so many ways to do that with not infinite resources. And we're so creative, and we come up with so many ways to make things happen. Like Lerone, the way you've created volunteer engagement, I think that's really one of your superpowers specifically. Like you come up with so many ways for people to get together. And I actually met a couple of mentors recently who every single one of them mentioned you and how wonderful the program has been. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me.
So, okay. We've talked a lot about ASAP, all our core programs. I don't know. Outside of that, what are some of your favorite things that ANAD is doing or that you get to do? Like a moment that really sticks out. I don't know. I'm talking a lot. It happens.
I love the stories. To me, I'm all about storytelling and kind of humanizing eating disorders. I know this week alone, we'll see a lot of statistics out there. We'll see a lot of facts about eating disorders, but it's really when you're able to hear the stories that I think it resonates on a different level. And I love our Journeyed series that we have, where folks can share their stories throughout the year, all of our different events. Today, we're going to have a lot of individuals with lived experience who are speaking up and sharing that. And I think it just brings a whole new light to eating disorders, a new perspective, whether you're a provider or clinician, whether you're a loved one trying to support somebody, or you're just navigating a difficult relationship with food or body image yourself. To hear the stories and to connect with other people who have gone through similar things is really powerful. And I love how it added a lot of our resources, a lot of the things that we put on our website is all takes that lived experience into consideration.
I also love our collaboration with Feast, which is growing as well. I think it's such an important collaboration, and I'm so grateful that we get to do that and both bring the lived experience voice to families and loved ones and provide that support for them as well.
Athena, do you want to tell us a little more about that collaboration and what it looks like?
Yeah, Feast is an absolutely incredible organization. I've met a lot of amazing people there, and Feast is a nonprofit that is an international nonprofit. So they help people all around the world, and they help specifically caregivers and loved ones of those who are struggling with eating disorders. So they help to give that support and that education piece back to the family members, friends, loved ones, basically anyone. So currently we have 3 different support groups in partnership with Feast. We have our Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time caregiver support group, our Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time caregiver support group. And then one of my all-time, I'm biased, but one of my all-time favorite support groups, it's our sibling support group. It takes place on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And when I tell you our sibling support group leaders, I don't know if any of them are listening right now, they are some of the kindest, most dependable, motivated individuals I have ever met. Most of them have been with this organization for longer than I've been with this organization, if that says anything. And I've never seen any of them actually leave the organization either. So they have been with us for a long time. That support group has been steadily growing, and I'm just so excited for them. But giving that support back to the family members and loved ones of those who are struggling, I think is super important, because eating disorders do impact the whole family unit, friends, loved ones. So being able to provide support to everyone, I think, is just key. And it really speaks volumes to how much ANAD is doing for the eating disorder community, not just for those who are having that lived experience, but for those who are watching their loved ones go through that lived experience as well.
Yeah. Leela, you get a lot of that with the helpline and the helpline volunteers, right? Like, what, I'm throwing a trick question at you, but what's our typical caller like?
I feel like I usually get asked this question in interviews when I interview helpline volunteers. And I typically say, like, honestly, like 50-50 between like loved ones or professionals reaching out on behalf of their clients and then those calling on behalf of themselves. But when I do get asked like what calls, as for myself, have stuck with me the most on the helpline, it's always like loved ones. A lot of the times their loved ones are not really receptive to their support. So just hearing somebody say, you know, thank you for reaching out on behalf of them. You know, what you're doing is great. And do you have support for yourself as well? We do try to help with that on the helpline too, like through our fee support groups and other resources that we have on our websites, So yeah, definitely a mix, I think, of loved ones and then those advocating on behalf of themselves as well. We get on the helpline.
Yeah. So you're mentioning the professionals will call the helpline too. Like, what do those asks look like?
Yeah, so typically it's professionals reaching out for referrals for their clients. So they themselves might not specialize in eating disorders and they want to get their client connected with a therapist or a dietitian that might specialize in eating disorders who could better support them in the moment. Or like somebody from a hospital, like a social worker, reaching out on behalf of like a patient, trying to get them set up if like for when they leave the hospital or treatment center. Those are typically the requests we get from professionals.
Yeah, because we do have quite a bit that professionals can lean on for their clients, to do more learning themselves. Jen, for any professionals listening, what should they expect if they're going to send a client to our website?
Yeah, so if they're sending a client to our website for a referral, we have an easily accessible treatment referral request form that folks can go into and fill out. If somebody doesn't want to do it themselves, they can call our helpline and our volunteers will walk them through it. But it just lays out everything that the person's looking for. So it asks for some personal information, level of care that they're interested in, some demographic info if that's applicable, as well as what other resources they'd be interested in getting information about. So at the same time that they might be looking for a certain type of treatment provider, they might also want information about ANAD support groups or some of the information on our website. And once that's submitted, it shoots over to our referral volunteers, and those are assigned, and people are able to get those requests filled and sent to them. So really easy to access and easy to use. And we actually did our first big recruitment for our referrals program last year. Previously, this was done internally by helpline volunteers, but now we are able to expand the program. So those requests are being filled, quickly, and yeah, it's a great team.
Agreed. And Jason, I know you're probably going to have to step off in a minute to keep the conversations rolling. But before you do, can you tell folks a little bit about the Learning Library and all of the incredible stuff we've got on the website?
Yeah, so the Learning Library is like a curated, easy, one-stop shop for as much information as you could want about eating disorders. So we've worked a lot, again, kind of blending, I would say, the professional provider clinician perspective and that lived experience perspective so that we're sharing information that's really easy to understand when it comes to eating disorder warning signs, eating disorder types, eating disorders in athletes, eating disorders in neurodiverse diversity. It's just a wide spectrum of different topics that are in the Learning Library. We've got some downloadable materials in there too, so folks can download those, share them. It's just a really great place to go if you've got any questions about eating disorders, if you're just looking to learn more. And we're always adding to it too. There's always new topics to explore and new things to talk about. So if you go in there and you don't see something yet that you want to learn more about, reach out and let me know. And I'll see what I can do.
That's true. We try to say yes whenever we can. And we have a lot in there that's grown over the years. When I started our website, was a bit of a dinosaur. There was a lot there, but there was also a lot of pages that weren't linked to anything, and it wasn't the easiest to get around. So we've come a long way. All that back end work that no one sees makes a really big difference on the front end ultimately. So I think the website is a really cool reflection of all the work we put in.
All right, and with that, I'm going to hop off, everyone. I will see you in a few minutes for our next conversation.
See you, Jason. And this day is Jason's brainchild as well. He has a lot of brainchildren. It's pretty amazing getting to, I don't know how to run with this metaphor, raise some of them into cool events. We try. But yeah. I also just want to tell everyone that this team is really fabulous. I'm biased. I get to work with them regularly, but we have such a caring and competent and kind and thoughtful and creative group of people making all of our programs happen. It is genuinely a delight to work with them. And I tell you in Leslie Nopish language fairly regularly, but I wanted to tell everyone else too.
The feeling is mutual, Kristen.
I know.
Sure that you're included in that too.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I feel like it's been a little bit of gushing in this intro situation, but it's amazing. We are really lucky. We get to take what we've learned along the way and turn around and help people. And like Lerone and everyone mentioned, our volunteers are just truly phenomenal people that I learn from every day, and it's really cool. But we've got a bunch more conversations coming up, and I know several of you did some. So what can people look forward to as they stay tuned for some or all of our 12 hours of conversation?
I'm going to just mention really quickly because then I have to go to my conversation, which is right after this.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
Stick around, everybody. We're going to talk to the amazing Rebecca Lester on reclaiming recovery. And also I have one talk later about eating disorders and chronic illness, which is very exciting. So hope to see you all there. And I'm going to log off. It was great to see you all. And thank you for a wonderful start of a really exciting day.
Thanks, Lerone.
And then there were 4.
It's true. Jen, you've got a conversation later. What are you going to be talking about?
Yeah, I did a conversation on it's on perinatal health and eating disorders, which we've been hearing as you said a lot today. We'd love to say yes, so we've gotten some requests throughout the year for some support around that, and I'm really excited to have that preliminary conversation and hopefully more throughout the year.
Awesome. Okay. Unfortunately, we are about at time, so I'm going to have to hop us off in just a second. But for anyone watching, stay tuned. We've got a ton coming up. And please remember, we're connected to like all of the social medias. So if you comment on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, we'll see it and we might be able to pop it up. So to the person who commented from YouTube, we're very excited about the ARFID group as well. So stay tuned for more details. Okay. Everyone, happy Eating Disorders Awareness Week. Thanks for starting it off with us. We are going to step out now and another conversation will be queued up shortly. Bye, everybody.